for today's discussion, we'll have the topic problem solving and reasoning. Nowadays, one of the main goals of mathematics, especially in the K-12 curriculum, is uh, for the students to develop their critical thinking and for them to become a problem solver. Okay, so here in this topic, we'll develop those skills by answering different problems that you encounter during your uh, basic education and also while browsing your social media such as the Facebook, the Instagram, and so on. Okay, so what are our objectives for today? Okay, so first one, use different types of reasoning to justify statements and arguments made about mathematics and mathematical concepts. Number two, write clear and logical proofs. Number three, organize one's methods and approaches for proving and solving problems. Then number four, use the concept of solving word problems in real life applications. So when it comes to problem solving, we can define it as stated by Risberg that problem solving refers to cognitive processing directed at achieving a goal when a problem solver does not initially know a solution method. Problem solving solution methods, ways, and techniques might differ. Okay, so there are times that your solution, your way on how to solve a certain problem is different from others. Okay, but at the end, we'll come up with the same answer. Okay, and also, one of the mathematicians, George Polya, published a journal about how people think when it comes to solving a problem. Okay, so he identified it that there are four phases of problem solving strategy. So the first one is we need to understand uh, the problem. And first, we need to read and analyze the given situation. Okay, and then afterwards, after that, we need to plan. We need to have our strategy on how we will solve those problems. When it comes to mathematics, when you are in your basic education, we have here the what formula will you use given this problem. Okay, then after that, after you strategize, after you plan, you need to solve it. You need to execute now. Okay, your plan. Then after that, you review. Okay, you review. Is my understanding correct? Did I analyze it correctly? And is my plan is aligned to the given problem? Did I violate a rule when it comes to solving this type of problem? Then after that, you check if is my execution correct or not. Then you repeat it until you are sure that your answer is correct. So generally, this is our way on how we solve a problem. We first try to understand, we plan, then we solve, then we review. Okay, and then another one, what are the types of reasoning that we are using when it comes to problem solving? So we have here two types, which is inductive and deductive reasoning. The diagram shows the two types of reasoning, the inductive and deductive. Inductive reasoning is the process of reaching a general conclusion by examining specific examples, while deductive reasoning is the process of narrowing down the general conclusion by providing specific examples and assumptions. Take it into consideration that in dealing with problem solving, these two types of reasoning goes simultaneously. Okay, so always remember when it comes to inductive from specific to general, and then for deductive from general to specific. So always remember we use these two types of reasoning. It goes hand in hand whenever we solve a problem. Okay, so uh, at the next slide and until the end of our presentation, we'll solve different types of problem. We'll try to analyze, we'll try to solve it, and I encourage you to try to think on how you will solve that certain problem. Okay, so it's not structured, so sometimes you need to uh, think outside the box, and at the same time, if you want to answer it, just pause the video, okay, before I reveal the answer. Okay, so you can pause the video. So let's have the first one. Okay, predict the next number. So given the sequence, let's identify what is the next number after 15. So we have here 1, 3, 6, 10, 15. Okay, the answer here is 21. So what's the procedure here? As you can see, we have the sequence 1 as our first term, and our second term is 3. Okay, so as you can see, it increased by 2. And then for the second term and the third term, 3 and 6, it increased by 3. And then the next ones, the third term and the fourth term, 6 and 10, increased by 4. And then 10 and 15 increased by 5. So as you can see, we increased what we added here. So plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5. And then to get the next term, all we need to do is to add 6. So 15 plus 6 is 20. Another example. Predict the next number given that we have 80, 70, 61, 53, 46, 40. Okay, the answer here is 35. Okay, what happened? So, same procedure with the previous example. All we need to do is to recognize the pattern. So, for the first term and second term, as you can see, it increased by 10. Okay, and then for the second term and the third term, decreased by 9. And then third and fourth decreased by 8. And then decreased by 7, decreased by 6. Obviously, we have here a pattern. So all we need to do is to subtract 5 to get the next term. Okay, so 40 minus 5, and that is 35. Another one, we have here 3, 7, 5, 10, 7, 13. Predict the next number. Okay, the correct answer here is 9. So notice that we need to consider the odd and even terms here. Okay, so notice that we have the odd terms 3, 5, 7. Obviously, it increased by 2. So 3 plus 2, that's 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. And then for the even terms, 7, 10, 13. Notice that it increased by 3. 7 plus 3, that's 10. 10 plus 3, that's 13. Okay, so as you can see now, we need to identify the seventh term. Okay, not odd term. But to identify the next term, all we need to do is add 2. Okay, so 7 plus 2 will obtain the value of 9. So the next term after 13 is 9. Another one. So instead of identifying the next number, we'll predict the next letter. Okay. Given that we have this O, E, P, F, F, S, S, E. What is the next letter after E? Okay, the correct answer here is N. Okay, so sometimes we need to uh, relate some concept to identify the pattern, to recognize the pattern. So in this case, we need to recall the concept of counting numbers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. So as you can see here, notice that the first letter of each number in the counting numbers is indicated here, such as O for 1, P for 2, T for 3, 4, F5, S6, S7, E8, and then to have the next letter, we have N for 9. Let's have another problem. In a line of crewmates, yellow is fifth from either end. How many people are they in the line? Okay, in dealing with problem solving like this, we need to take note of the keywords stated in the problem. Okay, so as you can see here, we have this phrase from either end. So either. We know for a fact that a single line has two ends, right? So from left and then from right, we need to identify, we need to see that yellow is the fifth from left and then from the right. Okay, so since the problem stated word either, we can say that John is fifth from both ends. So in order to happen this, we need to include four crewmates at his back. Okay, so we can count from left. So we have here blue, red, black, and then teal. So that's fifth. Okay, yellow is fifth. And then another one at his front, we need to include another four. And then, as you can see from right, we can count. We have here the purple, white, green, the violet, white, green, and the purple. So we have here fifth one. Okay, the fifth one is yellow. So counting all of the crewmates here, there are 9. Okay, there are 9. So the answer here is 9. Another problem. All the seats of a bus is occupied and 6 are standing. At the next bus stop, 13 persons got off and 3 got in. How many seats are empty on the next bus stop? Okay, the answer here is 4. Okay, you need to think of how many seats are there in the bus. Just get the idea. You don't need to think. Actually, you don't need to think of how many seats are there in the bus. Just get the idea that all seats of a bus is occupied, and there are 6 people standing. Okay, on the next bus stop, uh, 13 people got off. So that would be a 13 empty seats, available seats. Of the 13 vacant seats, the 6 people who were standing will take seats, bringing the total of the vacant seats to 7. As stated in the problem, as the 13 people got off, 3 people got in. Those 3 people will take another 3 seats out of the remaining 7 vacant seats. Okay, after the 6 people who were standing took those seats. So therefore, as the bus continues the ride, there are 4 available seats. So as you can see, 13 minus the 6 standing, so that's 7, and then 3 got in, that is 4. Another problem. Three kids, Angelo, Emmanuel, and Erica, have three different favorite superheroes: Batman, Spider-Man, and Superman. Their ages are 6, 8, and 10. From the clues below, find who is who. First statement, Angelo likes Spider-Man. Then next one, Emmanuel doesn't like Superman. The youngest kid likes Spider-Man. And lastly, the age of the kid who likes Superman is 8. Again, you can pause the video so that you can answer it before we reveal the answer. Okay, so here we have the table. We use the table to indicate what is the age and the favorite superhero of Angelo, Emmanuel, and Erica. So we'll base their age and favorite superheroes based on the given statements. So first one, Angelo likes Spider-Man. So obviously, Angelo likes Spider-Man. Okay, the second statement said that Emmanuel doesn't like Superman. So if Emmanuel doesn't like Superman and Angelo likes Spider-Man, so obviously there's one hero left, which is Batman. Okay, which is Batman. So the favorite hero of Emmanuel is Batman. And then the remaining superhero is for Erica, which is Superman. Okay, another one, the youngest kid likes Spider-Man. So as we can see here, we have the ages 6, 8, and 10. So the youngest here is 6. And the youngest kid who likes Superman is Angelo. So the age of Angelo is 6. Then the next one, the age of the kid who likes Superman is 8. Okay, so with that, Erica likes Superman. So the age of Erica is 8. Okay, so since they have different ages, Angelo is 6 years old, Erica is 8 years old, so Emmanuel now is the 10-year-old kid. Okay, so Angelo is 6 years old who likes Spider-Man. Emmanuel, 10 years old, Batman. Erica, 8 years old, and favorite superhero is Superman. Okay, so another problem. Here, in this case, we need to identify the names of the fish here. Okay, the 6 fish here. So we have your Pirena, Alena, Ibrahim, Akil, Danaya, and Amihan. Okay, they always swim together. So from the following clues provided, find who is who. So we have here the statement, Piranha thinks her stripes are the most beautiful. Alena always swims between her two spotted friends, Ibrahim and Akil. Danaya is helping Akil remember the routine and swims in front of him. Then lastly, Amihan is upset because she doesn't have any dots or stripes. Okay, so let's analyze each statements here. So first one, Pirena thinks her stripes are most beautiful. So as you observe in the illustration, there are three who have stripes. So we cannot identify yet who is Pirena because it leaves us to three choices. Right? So let's proceed to the next one. Next statement. Alena always swims between her two spotted friends, Ibrahim and Akil. So as you notice, this is Alena. Okay? Because it is the only fish who swims between two spotted friends. Okay? Fishes. But we cannot determine yet who is Ibrahim and Akil. Because it doesn't mean that Ibrahim is the first spotted fish and Akil is the second one. We cannot rely solely on the construction of the clue stated. Okay, so we need to uh, use the next statement, okay, which is the Naya. The Naya is helping Akil remember the routine and swims in front of him. So we can say that this is the Naya because we know that one of the spotted fish is either Ibrahim or Akil. So the other spotted fish swims next to Elena. Therefore, the first spotted fish is Akil. Okay, and the fish who was striped who swims in front of one of the spotted fish is Akil. Right? So we have the clue that the Naya is helping Akil. Right? So this is Akil, and then obviously this is now Ibrahim. Okay, this is now Ibrahim. And then the next one, Amihan is upset because she doesn't have any dots or stripes. So basically, this is the only fish. Okay, this is the only fish who doesn't have any dots or stripes. And it is Amihan. Okay, and then the remaining fish here is now Pirena. Okay, we can go back to the first clue. Pirena thinks her stripes are the most beautiful. So we can say this is Pirena. Okay, so we need to use each statement and we need to relate the each statement so that we can identify the names of this fish. Okay, and another one, aside from naming of fishes, we also have this type of problem. Actually, we encounter this mostly in Facebook, in our social media. Uh, we solve for the weight of each shape, okay, that is shown in the figure. So given that the total weight is 80. Okay, so find the value of the star, the heart, and the diamond. Okay, now as shown in the figure, the distribution of the shapes is balanced. Okay, if it is balanced, we need to divide 80 by 2. Okay, so we can determine that uh, each side are both equal weights. Okay, so that would be 40. Okay, so in the left side, if it weighs 40, so 40, there are 5 stars, we divide it by 5. So 40 divided by 5, the value of the star or the weight of the star is 8. On the other hand, we have another weight of 40. But again, it has two equal divisions. So we need to divide 40 by 2, and that is 20. Okay, so on the left part, we have one star and two hearts. So if the weight is 20, we subtract one star, which is the value of 8. So 20 minus 8, so that's 12. And then the remaining weight, we divide it by two hearts. So 12 divided by 2, so the weight is 6. And then on the right part, we have 4 diamonds. So 20 is the weight. So 20 divided by 4 is 5. So the weight of the star is 8, heart is 6, and the diamond is 5. Okay, let's have another problem. So, one cut of a string produces two pieces. Two cuts produce three pieces. Three cuts produce four pieces. How many pieces are produced by 5 cuts and by 21 cuts? Okay, we can say that the relationship between the number of cut and the number of pieces is that the number of pieces always exceed the number of cut by one. So notice that if we have one number of as number of cuts, we have number of piece of 2. And then number of cuts of 2 is 3 pieces. 3 cuts, 4 pieces. And then for 5 cuts, we have 6 pieces. And then 21 cuts, 22 pieces. So notice we just add 1. Okay, so therefore, the answer is 6 pieces for 5 cuts and 22 pieces for 21 cuts. Okay, another problem. So a light bulb inspector found an alarmingly high number of defective bulbs in a recent shipment. Of the 30 bulbs she selected to test, she found 12 bulbs to be defective. How many might she expect to be defective out of a shipment of 420 bulbs? Notice that we have here the data that a light bulb inspector always selects 30 bulbs to test, and for every 30 bulbs she selected to test, there are 12 bulbs found to be defective. Okay, so if there are 420 light bulbs, all we need to do is to identify the number of batches. So we divide 420 by 30. So we have here 14 batches. Okay, so if every batch consists of 12 defective light bulbs, so we multiply it, 14 batches times 12 defective light bulbs, the total of the possible defective light bulbs out of 420 is 168 defective light bulbs. So here, you can, you notice, you can use the concept of the ratio and the proportion. Next one, we have here, we need to identify, okay, the age of this person. Okay, so given that these are the statements. Hi, I'm John. My age is below the retirement age under the Philippine law. When you add the digits of my age, the sum is 9. My age is a multiple of 6. If my age lies between two prime numbers, how old am I? So, from the questions asked for the age of John given the following clues, let's apply inductive reasoning to get the answer. Okay, there are 4 clues provided. So, let's start first with the statement that his age is under the Philippine law. Okay, and the retirement age is 60. So, therefore, we can say that John's age is below 60. Okay, and then another one, when you add the digit of his age, the sum is 9. So as you can see, there are 6 possible, okay, 6 possible digits or numbers, which are 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, and 54. As you can see, if you add the 2 digits, the sum is 9. Okay, and then another one, another clue, it is a multiple of 6. If it is a multiple of 6, obviously 9 is not a multiple of 6. So as with 27 and 45. So therefore we have 18, 36, and 54. Okay, so only 18, 36, and 54 are multiple of 6 among the options. Next one. His age lies between the two prime numbers. So we only have 3 possible answers here. But let's check. Okay, so as you can see, let's start with 54. 54 is between 53 and 55. 53 is a prime number, however 55 is not. Because uh, as we define the prime number, the factors are 1 in itself. But 55, we can have 155 and then 11 and 5. So therefore, 55 is composite. So 54 is not the correct answer here. Okay, let's try 36. Okay, so 36 is between 35 and 37. So 37 is a prime number. However, 35 is not a prime number. It's a composite. Okay, so given that we have factors of 135, 7, and 5. 7 times 5 is 35. So obviously 36 is not the age of John. So let's check 18. Okay, we need to verify if it satisfies the given statement. 18 is between 17 and 19. Okay, it is between 17 and 19. And 17 and 19 are both prime numbers. So therefore, the age of John is 18. Okay, John is 18 years old. Okay, another one. So as you can see here, we have the situation of the lost backpack. Okay, so last week, three students, Sam, Sean, and Sean, all lost their backpacks colored green, blue, and purple. During the school day, the third period, the lunch and fifth period. So from the clues provided, determine who among them have a green backpack, blue and purple backpack, and who among them lost his backpack during the third period, during the lunch, and during the fifth period. Okay, so given these clues, Sean lost sight of his purple backpack and during lunch. Sean's backpack, which was not green, was lost during the third period, and Sam did not lose his backpack before lunch. So from the first statement, Sean lost sight of his purple backpack during lunch. So the color of backpack of Sean is purple, and it is lost during the lunch. And then another one, Sean's backpack, which was not green. So if it is not green, and Sean's backpack is purple, so obviously it is the blue backpack. Okay? And it is lost during the third period. Okay? And then last one, Sam did not lose his backpack before lunch. If he did not lose his backpack before lunch, and the remaining period is the fifth period, so therefore we can say that he lost his backpack during the fifth period. And also, the remaining color of the backpack is green. So therefore, the lost backpack of Sam is color green. Okay, another situation in school we're in. We are dealing now with the positions of the students. Okay, so previously the lost backpack, but now we'll deal with the positions of each student on the Supreme Student Council at the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Valenzuela. Okay, so we have four students: Adam, Adele, Taylor, and Prince. Okay, so given the three statements here, we need to identify what is their position. Okay, who is the president, vice president, secretary, and the treasurer. So we have here Adam and the secretary are both the same age, and they are the youngest members of the group. Prince is younger than the president but older than the treasurer. Then lastly, Taylor and the secretary are the next door neighbors. Okay, to answer this, you need to construct a checklist with the names as arrows and positions as columns, or it could be in reverse. there's no problem if you do the checklist as the positions as rows and names are as for the columns. Okay, so now let's identify what are their position given these three statements. So the first one here is Adam and the secretary are both the same age. Okay, they are both the same age. And they are the youngest members of the group. So given that, we can say that Adam is not the secretary. Okay, so from the given statement, it is clearly stated that Adam and the secretary are different people. Okay, so we can cross out the secretary position for Adam. And then with Prince is younger than the president but older than the treasurer. So again, different people. So we can cross out to Prince, the president, and the treasurer. And then Taylor and the secretary are next door neighbors. So we can cross out the secretary position for Taylor. Okay, now let's focus on the statements of Prince is younger than the president but older than the treasurer. So let's start first by identifying the position of Prince. So Prince can be the vice president or the secretary. So the clue we know about Prince is that he is younger than the president, but he is older than the treasurer. If Prince is older than the treasurer, then Prince cannot be the secretary, right? He cannot be the secretary because the secretary is one of the youngest members. So therefore, Prince cannot be the secretary since he is older than the treasurer. So with that, Prince is not the president, secretary, and the treasurer. So obviously, Prince now is the vice president. Okay, Prince now is the vice president. Now, notice that we have here the column of the secretary. Adam is not the secretary, so as Taylor and Prince. So obviously, we can say that Adele is the secretary. Okay, so let's just cross out first the positions for the vice president since we know Prince is the vice president. And then for the secretary position, Adele, so let's cross out her position as president and treasurer since she is the secretary. So the remaining positions for Adam and Taylor are the president and treasurer. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's focus on Adam first. Okay, so as you can see here, Adam is considered as one of the youngest members of the group. Now, let's have the second statement. Look at the second statement. Prince is younger than the president. Prince is younger than the president. So, therefore, so as you notice, we can say that the president is older than Prince, right? The president is older than Prince. So, if that's the case, Adam cannot be the president, okay? Since Adam is one of the youngest members. So therefore, if Adam is not the president, therefore he is the treasurer. Okay, he is now the treasurer. And then the remaining position, president. So our president is Taylor. Okay, so here we have the president as Taylor, vice president for is Prince, the secretary is Adele, and then the treasurer is Adam. So as you can see here, you need to recognize the relationship between the statements, and also it deals with their ages. Okay, to recognize that their respective positions. Okay. Okay, so second to the last problem. So here, given a certain figure, let's identify the number of the squares. Okay, the number of squares in the figure. Okay, so since, as you notice, this is a 4 by 4 square, right? This is a 4 by 4 square. So there's a possibility that we can form a 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, and the 4 by 4 square itself. Okay, so let's start first with the 1 by 1. So as you notice, if we count all the squares here, there are 16, 1 by 1. Okay, and then for the 2 by 2, so all we need to do is to identify those squares. So if we count that, we'll have this. Okay, we have here as the first square for the 2 by 2, the second square, the third square, the fourth square, and so on. So as you can see, there are 9 possible squares of 2 by 2. Okay, and then another one we have here for the 3 by 3, there are 4. Okay, so we have here the 3 by 3, which is this one, the first square. And then for the second square, we have this. Okay, so notice that we have 4 3 by 3s. And then obviously, last one, the 4 by 4 is 1. So if we add them, we have here 16 plus 9, that's 25, plus 4, that's 29, and plus 1 is 30. So therefore, there are 30. Okay, there are 30 squares in the figure. Last problem. How many triangles are there in the figure? So given this, we have this diamond. Let's identify the number of triangles that can be formed here. Okay, so as you can see, we can count it. First, the small triangles. We have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, then let's focus on the smaller diamonds here. Okay, for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so as you notice, we can have these triangles 1, 3, 2, 4, 9, 10, and 11, 12. And we can have horizontally, okay, such as 1, 2, and then 4, 3, 4, 9, 11, and 10, 12. So another 4, so that's 20. Okay, so 12 plus 4, that's 16, plus 4, that's 20. And another one, okay, the half of this diamond, we can have this vertically and horizontally. So that is another 2 and 2. So 20 plus 2, 22. Plus another 2 is 24. And then we have here, if we cut it into 4, okay? So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4. So another 4, we add 24 plus 4, that's 28. So overall, there are 28 triangles that can be formed in this figure.